So for this video, we're doing yet another quick and dirty deck spotlight so that I can get as many updated decks posted, the stuff I've been playing since the balance patch, before I go to QuakeCon to cast the finals for the Masters Series. We're looking at another Goblin deck, but this one is a little bit different from the other Goblin deck that I posted. It's a little more cheeky. I don't know if it's as good as the other one, but it's certainly a lot of fun to play, and if you like decks that high roll, just have big splashy plays, this is the deck for you. So this is a Goblin deck. That means it runs your traditional Goblin package, if you will. We have the Skirmisher. Again, that's the entire reason you play Goblins, is Murkwater Skirmisher. A lot of times it is a stat house. Even if you have just 2 Goblins on the board when you play this, you're basically getting 8/8 in stats for 4 Magicka. It can just win you games. It's the reason Goblins are considered a very high roll aggressive archetype, because when they go off big. To pair with the Skirmisher, we do have the 0 cost Goblin, and we're fetching that with Goblin Skulk, which is obviously a Goblin as well. We have Murkwater Witch, great at eating Ward Crafters, also still a Goblin. Fantastic here. Murkwater Butcher, it's a good body if you get it in the first turn. Feels kind of bad otherwise, but still worth running. This is a mono green version of Goblins, just like the other deck I posted, so every creature you play counts towards Murkwater Savage. Also a Goblin, so it's great. I'm running 2 Murkwater Guides, largely because it gives you extra Goblins. It's a Goblin itself. 4/2 for 3 isn't terrible, but then because of Houses of Morrowind, we've got Surin Pawnbroker feeding us 0 cost cards sometimes as well, which means you could really get some extra value out of this, getting an extra Nord Firebrand, getting that extra Daggers in the Dark, whatever it is. Daggers in the Dark is great. If you got a couple of creatures in different lanes, you play your Pawnbroker, and you have a guide on the board, it can be as much as a +4/+0 play. It's pretty good. Anyway, that's the reason I run a couple of guides. And that's it for mostly the Goblin package. The rest is pretty straightforward, aggressive stuff. Again, we're running Pawnbroker. We got the Mournhold Trader because I hear 4/4s for 2 are good. Gloom Lurker, mostly here for Prophecy, also to sometimes hide things. If somebody's trying to contest your Mournhold, giving it cover, allowing you to get 4 more damage out of it before they blow it up, a lot of times feels great. Gambler, another Houses of Morrowind card, really ups the power level of this deck in my opinion. Stat line is great. It's a must-answer card if it's played on curve. A lot of times decks just don't have the answer. You draw cards. Really, really solid. Eldergleam Matron is like the poor man's Gambler. Still attacks for 4, still costs 3. This gives you 1 random animal as opposed to 2 cards from your deck. So good news is it's instant though, and you don't have to worry about silences, removal, etc. We've also got Nimble Ally. This is always in this deck a 4/4 lethal for 3. That is a massive amount of stats. It eats Hive Defenders and survives. It eats Candlehearth Brawlers and survives. It's just a fantastic card. But we're going to get to the spice here in a second. We also got Cliff Racers. That's your closer card in this. We're not running Tazcad, which might come as a shock. I mean, he is a Goblin, and he does close games out. But usually with Goblins, you're trying to win well before turn 9. Turn 9 means like you've probably lost if the game went that long. So anyway, now the spice. Why would you want to run Monk over the Archer version? The Archer version runs Archer's Gambit and some extra lethal cards so that you can move your guys around guards. You can use the lethals to ping high value targets. Why would you want to run Monk? Well, that's where the high roll part comes in. So you run Monk to just slam in Master of Thieves and Thieves' Den. So if you're not familiar, Thieves' Den gives every one of your creatures Pilfer, +1/+1. Master of Thieves makes it so that friendly creatures with Pilfer can attack an extra time each turn. Now keep in mind that's per Master of Thieves. If you ever find yourself with 2 Master of Thieves on the board, then your creatures can attack 3 times if there's a Thieves' Den on. So, if you play a Thieves' Den, and you play a Master of Thieves, your entire board gets to attack twice, and they're going to be bigger for the second attack because they've pilfered once. That's fantastic. In an aggressive deck, you're already trying to high roll with Murkwater Skirmisher. If that plan fails, then you can high roll with Master of Thieves. Again, if you like high rolling, big splashy plays, this deck is for you. Also by running Monk, you get to play Anasi. Anasi is one of the best 5-drops in the game. It's just traditionally Monk hasn't been that great of a class, so sometimes I think people forget exactly how good Anasi is. But stealing those wards, stealing charge is great. Even just taking rally or taking guard away so your other creatures can attack feels fantastic. So yeah, this runs Master Thieves, Thieves Den, and then because you're not running Archer's Gambit here, you don't need Fighters Guild Recruit as a prophecy card that also has lethal to power the Archer's Gambits. So those get traded out for Daring Cutpurse. It's still a card of prophecy, but this is one that has Pilfer. It's a little bit more aggressive, and then because it has Pilfer, it means you can get some value out of your Master of Thieves, even if you don't have Thieves Den on the board. So Master of Thieves, 3/5 isn't a terrible stat line for a 4-cost card anyway, but because you have the Goblin Skulk and the Daring Cutpurse, sometimes even if you don't have the support, you can still find some value there. So yeah, this is the Monk version of Goblin. It is the super high roll version of Goblin, and that is the deck overview. Let's go ahead and dive into some games and see how it performs. All right, we're going first against Assassin. This is going to be interesting. I think Assassin's a really good... I think we're going to keep that even though we don't have the ring. I think Assassin's a good deck, especially the tempo version right now. But you don't see a lot of people playing it. Now if it's not that, then I'm even more curious. But I have to assume it's the tempo version. I'm going to go ahead and play the Butcher, but we're going to save that for now. Kind of might have... played that too soon as well. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I mean, it eats the Harpy. The issue was with Nimble Ally, like there's no way you don't play Nimble Ally on turn 3. And you want to play this before you play the Skirmisher, so... And if we had drawn a 2-drop, we would have played it on turn 2, not on turn 3 in conjunction with this, so... There wasn't ever like a good time to not play that, barring that first turn. And you want to, if they didn't have an answer, provide pressure. But interesting. They will meet their makers. I see you. Oh, and we got a combo piece. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're okay with playing that Gobbo now, so that when we Skirmisher next turn, it can swing. I have to assume he's going to Daggerfall into our 3/2. By playing the Nimble Ally, we're kind of saying, you know, better put that book on the Daggerfall if you want it to survive. Shall I take you?
Of course, I'm on your side.
Alright, they're going with the Mournhold instead. So this does appear to be like the tempo-oriented Assassin. We're going to go ahead and make some value trades. Kind of want to contest over here as well, but...
The forest is ours!
We'll go ahead and do that. We can set up Ally on the other side next turn and cut Purse, and then maybe cut Purse our way into Master of Thieves. That could be fun.
Didn't see this coming, eh?
Gloom Lurker, okay. Gonna hide his trader. I can respect that.
Careful there, friend.
And a Ward Crafter. Okay. That is not a half bad turn from our opponent. Alright, that kind of changes things a little bit. We could theoretically push that way, but since this needs a buff to fight with us anyway, I think we stick to the game plan. That being said, we want to We want to push our damage
The
first.
forest is ours.
They make it too easy.
Ifra stands with me.
It's a pretty big swing in health there. And if he doesn't try to like tamper down on our board, then we can push for lethal. Now, one thing to note, a lot of the tempo assassins run 1 or 2 giant snakes. Giant snake in that shadow lane could be a problem. Could be just enough tempo for them to push through.
Blood will spill.
Didn't see this coming, eh?
All right. Harpy.
They cannot
Harpy
hope
on
to
the ally.
outwit
Okay,
me.
okay. So, we have 10, 14 with a Cliff Racer. With a Master of Thieves play, we have 10, 13. Pawnbroker could represent more. So I think the Master of Thieves play is probably correct. The problem is if we don't find a lethal, then we just lose. Because he's got more than enough here to kill us, even more so with the Kinsman. The fact that we don't have an answer for the Kinsman tells me I think we have to just go for the lethal here. So we're going to go ahead and... again, it kind of doesn't matter where this goes, because this is an attack in this turn.
Khajiit needs coin, and he will have it.
Have business with House
Close
Halalu.
call. Close call is not what we were looking for lethal. And as such, I think we just lose. It's a little bit of a bummer. It's a little bit of a bummer. There was a number of cards that would have given us lethal there. Healing Hands, Improvised Weapon, Daggers in the Dark, Orbis Bargain, Nord Firebrand. Instead, our opponent has lethal. There's no way they don't, right? Cliff Racer finishes us. Lightning Bolt finishes us. Anything that kills the Kinsman is enough to finish us. Now again, we could have maybe instead taken some sort of path where instead of playing the Pawnbroker, we could have played like Murkwater Witch to kill this and put a guard in place. But yeah, he's figured it out.
All too simple.
Doesn't matter. Not enough to save us. Or is it? Maybe they're playing with our emotions? Does he have 2/2-drops? Looking for
I
charge?
see you're in need of my wisdom.
We need no charge. No charge. Wow. Wow, we have a shot. We have a shot. Now here's the other interesting part, right? A Lightning Bolt Prophecy kills us. And we have no way to dodge the Lightning Bolt Prophecy unless... No, actually we don't. So this Kinsman getting guard kind of actually hosed us because we have no way to silence it. Killing it would ruin us. We could close call this and replay it to buff our other Goblin, but this is the only one. So we have no way to skip that rune, and we have no way to silence that or go around it. So we just have to eat a prophecy, sadly. I don't see any other way around it, unless we close call this and it finds us something. I suppose...
Have business
suppose
with House
maybe,
Lalu.
nope, did not help us. So, no way to dodge it. Moment of truth. Alright. It was all for nothing. We'll say good game. That was a good game. Probably thinks I was BMing. I was not. I was trying to skip that last rune. Good game. Close game. Very fun. Alright. This is going to be a pretty interesting game. We are playing against Crusader. You have to assume that this is likely... Oh, that's interesting. I actually really like this opener. Normally I throw Gambler back when I'm playing against aggressive decks because you typically don't need to draw the cards, but our hand might just be empty by the time that that thing comes around anyway, and if not, we can just pitch the 0 cost. So I think we're going to go ahead and keep this. Yeah, this is going to be an aggressive showdown. In all likelihood. I guess there is an outside chance it's not an aggro Crusader deck, but our opponent is not Maricon, so I'm going to bank on it being aggro Crusader. Alright, well, let's go ahead and do this.
Have business with House
Cruel
Lalu.
Firebloom, fair enough. That will likely get pitched to our Gambler, and I won't feel bad about it. Let's us save the Anasi. Master of Thieves could be interesting.
Care to make a friendly
Goodbye, Cruel Firebloom. It was nice to know you. So what we want to draw now is Thieves Den to buff everything, and then we can play Master of Thieves and just win the next turn, right? So Thieves Den, swing with everything, pass, play Master of Thieves, attack twice with everything. That's like the Living the Dream opener. Kind of surprised our opponent is in a position where they haven't played anything. Oh, they must just have a really bad draw. East March this early cannot feel good. Cut Purse is nice. At a minimum, that will be able to
You bet on the
attack
wrong
twice.
side. My business is none of theirs.
So we're going to go ahead and play the Trader just because at
Of course I'm on
4-4
your
I feel
side.
better about that not getting charged into, right? Whereas if we put Cut Purse out there, could eat a Candlehearth Brawler, for example. So we'll do that. And then again, that'll open up at least Master of Thieves, allowing this to attack twice. I have to assume that East March is going to run right into our Gambler. And the only thing that gums us up pretty bad here is Hive Defender. So sadly, our opponent seems to have defended the Hive.
Didn't see this coming, eh?
So we are not able to play Anasi this
Care to
turn.
make a friendly
We're just going to go ahead and pitch this. We're actually going to save the Master of Thieves. Pass. We're saving the Master because if our opponent attacks anything not this, we can still get some value out of this. I have to assume he's going to hit this, though. Of the three you can attack, it's the most frightening because it's the most shiny. And we all know shiny cards are just better. Yep. Properly reads it, so that's fine.
They will not
If you're
get
looking for
past me.
trouble, you'll find
Oh man, if you ever want Anasi to give you value, oh, and we have the combo, as if the Anasi wasn't going to be enough, but it turns out the Anasi is going to be enough.
enemy's strength against them. My business is none of theirs.
Kind of
You
surprised we
bet
didn't
on the
see
wrong
like a
side.
Didn't see this
concession
coming, eh?
on the resolution of Anasi, but
Wrong side.
so we have the awesome combo. We have Thieves Den, we have Master of Thieves.
A fine battle.
We're not even going to get to play it because Anasi is just that good. Removed 3 guards and a rally, and there you have it. So that is a aggressive mirror. Granted, our opponent had a pretty bad draw, but the Monk Archer did really well.